Welcome to the LHK conversation. My name is Taika, and my guest tonight is Greg. Hi, Greg.
Hello, how you doing, Taika? What's going on?
What's going on? Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. Jamal should be on in a little bit, but I wanted us to get started so we can talk about it. So, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started.
A little bit about myself. My name is Greg Graham. I'm 49 years old, and at the age of 41, I had what's called an AVM, arteriovenous malformation, rupture in my cerebellum that caused me to not be able to walk, not be able to feed myself, and I had to start all over like a newborn child. So this was in 2017, before COVID, and I was married at the time. When this happened to me, I had a craniotomy. I had to get everything started all over again. I was the breadwinner of my household. I lost my job. I lost my marriage. And pretty much from there, I dedicated myself to become an advocate for people with this condition. Only 1% of the world population has what's called our arteriovenous malformation. And I didn't know what this was until it happened to me when it ruptured. So now I just do services all over the world to talk to people about advocacy and as well as awareness of what an AVM is.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm just gonna give a brief description because I also did research. It like nearly every year, nearly 800,000 people in the United States have a stroke, and that's a huge number. And about 87% of all stroke are ischemic strokes, which is during the blood flow to the brain, the oxygen is blocked.
Right.
So what were your symptoms like when you first had the stroke? Did you know you were gonna have a stroke? Did you realize something was wrong or off, or it just happened?
Well, let's back up a little bit because the statistic that gave is a pretty accurate statistics, but it's kind of misleading because there's two different types of strokes. There's one that's the ischemic stroke, the one you just explained, and the other one is called a hemorrhagic stroke. The hemorrhagic stroke is more on the lines of when you have a brain bleed or an aneurysm or any type of hemorrhage inside of your brain. And that's what I had. Now, the symptoms could vary. The American Heart Association has this acronym called BFAST, and FAST stands for if your balance is off, that's the B. If your eye starts drooping, that's the E. The F is your face starts drooping as well because you got your eye, face is drooping. A is you get weakness in your arm. S is slurring your speech. And then the T is time to call 911. What I want to tell you, Taika, is that it's very subtle. It's not like this big thing that people think that it is, like automatically your body just shuts down. Your body starts to shut down. And when it starts to shut down, it's very subtle, and if you ignore it, it could get worse. So time is definitely of the essence. So if you have any one of those symptoms, or if you're nauseated, or if you just get dizzy all of a sudden for no apparent reason, it's time to call 911.
Don't ignore it. Thank you. Because I thought, I'm glad that you explained that to me, and I appreciate you giving me the knowledge because I was ignorant to the facts of it because, I don't know that many people that have a stroke. And so I appreciate that because I always think that it's something that happens just like that. I didn't think over time it starts to happen and you start to notice certain things because I know we ignore certain subtle signs in our body that we should be paying attention to. And, going to the doctor and making sure that our body is good. Hi, Latanya.
Latanya, how you doing, sister?
Good evening. How are you all doing?
Well,
good. being that you said there's two types of strokes, I know the other one that I was just talking about, which is the ischemic stroke. You know, that has a lot of causes like like your high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, smoking is the number one. Your age, gender, it can be hereditary from your family. Well, not family history, race, ethnicity, and then just your personal history of how you take care of yourself in general. Now, I know you said that, you lost a lot of factors in your life. What was that? What was your journey like? Can you bring us to when it first happened, the day that it happened, if you can remember? I don't know if it affects your memory, but
Oh, it depends. Every stroke is different. It's like a snowflake. Everybody has a different type of stroke because you got to remember a stroke is when oxygen is being deprived from a part of your brain. So basically, I have brain damage. I might not look, but I have brain damage. So the first day that happened to me, I was driving in the car and I was talking to my mother, and I had this excruciating headache. And when I had this excruciating headache, I tried to drink some water like I'm doing now to alleviate the problem. It wouldn't go away. And it was the weirdest thing. You asked me how I felt and how this was going for me. It was the weirdest thing because you're talking to your mother and she's telling you, hang up the phone and call 911 because she don't know if I'm going to die or not. So she has to have enough strength and courage to hang up the phone with her son. And that might be the last time she talked to him. So I'm taking this all in, and when this has happened to me, I pulled over, I called 911, and the weirdest thing happened to me. It was like I it's hard. Like when people say life flashes before their eyes, my life flashed before my eyes. I'm thinking about my father. I'm like, okay, if I die, he'll be okay. I thought about my mother, she'll be okay. I thought about my ex-wife, she'll be okay. And then I thought about my two daughters. It was like 10 and 11 at the time. I was like, I can't die yet.
right.
My senses started changing. Like I could see more clearly. I could smell. Like I could smell what you have for breakfast. That's how sharp my senses were. But it was very refreshing dying. I can't explain that to you unless you went through a near-death situation. It was it was very refreshing. It wasn't I was angry or I wanted to cuss anybody. It felt welcoming. And it's like I had a change in my life. And the change was like, if you're gonna die and you don't have jealousy, you don't have animosity, you don't have any anger issues, why do you live that way? So I asked God, I prayed, I said, God, give me another chance. I got a lot to tell my daughters, and clear as day as me talking to you right now, I heard okay. And when I heard okay, my life changed. Everything changed within my life. I didn't want to fight with anybody no more. I wasn't jealous anymore. And I was in a marriage with, I can't say she's a bad person, it's just she wasn't good for me. And we wasn't a match for each other. And we got divorced and it was okay. Everything was okay because I was on a different path. So the person that I was before doesn't exist anymore. That person died. So you asked me how I felt. I had a funeral for myself. I buried everything that I had, all the negative thoughts. I actually had a ceremony and burned them and started my life over.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's amazing. Like I'm sitting here thinking like, I'm not saying that I had a near death experience, but just I couldn't imagine, like the thoughts that you had, but being that you had clarity and peace and you were just okay with everything and went through everything that you went through to come out on top. And then just to say that you prayed to God to give you another chance and you heard him. Like I'm in awe when it comes to stuff like that. So once they brought you to the hospital, and were you coherent when they was explaining it to you, or because I'm trying to understand like what happened so we can
So I used to drive RVs from the manufacturer in Indiana all over, and also Canada. And this is one of the trips that I actually was coming back from Indiana, and my stroke or brain aneurysm or AVM rupture was in Kentucky, at the edge of Kentucky and almost next to Tennessee. Driving back to Atlanta. Um, and I called 911. It took about 20 minutes for the ambulance to get there because I was at the edge of the county. And I was in a very barren place. If you know about Kentucky, this place called Bowling Green, I was near that area. If you know, it's a very barren area on the highway. So they took me to a hospital, and it was the weirdest thing because like the whole ER unit was available to me. Like I never seen so many doctors in my life. I was always, I never passed out. That's the weirdest thing because you're having a stroke. I was able to drive and pull over. I didn't crash. You know, thank God I didn't crash and kill anybody. That was been on my conscience so much. But I was able to pull over, went to the hospital, and they told me and say, "Hey, Mr. Graham, you had a stroke, and this is not a stroke hospital." And I didn't know there was different hospitals for different things, so I'm learning this too. He said, "This is not a stroke hospital. We're gonna have to send you to Louisville." And I'm thinking to myself, I said, I drove by Louisville about an hour and a half ago. So I got to go to Louisville and I had a stroke. They said, we're going to get a helicopter for you and we're going to airlift you to Louisville. I said, okay. So they did that. I'm still conscious all the way through. And I got to Louisville, and so happened this doctor, supposed to be like the best doctor in the Southeast, worked on me. And fortunate enough, he was supposed to go on vacation the following week, but he was there to work on me in that particular time. Like all these miracles was happening from him.
Well, it's amazing.
Yeah, and he did what's called an embolization. They had to go through my groin to get to my brain. And he was operating at my AVM while I'm still conscious. Like he's talking to me, he's doing brain surgery on me. But he didn't open up my head. He did what's called an angiogram. You ever had an angiogram before? So they go through your groin. They go through a vein through your groin to travel up to either your heart or your brain. Through there, and that's what he actually did. Then I aspirated on the actual operation table, and that's when I had pneumonia. And everything said and done, everything got fixed up, but I still had to get it removed out of my head. So I'm stuck in Kentucky for 6 weeks trying to be able to walk or be able to be transported back to Atlanta. That's where I lived in Atlanta, Georgia. That's about 6 hours away. So I was there by myself for 6 weeks trying to rehab, trying to get better. And then after that being said and done, I learned how to I got rid of the pneumonia. I learned how to swallow again because I couldn't swallow. I couldn't walk. They got me all set up to get me back to Atlanta. And when I got back to Atlanta, I had what's called a craniotomy to remove the AVM. I will show you. I can't show you right now. I have a big scar in the back of my head, and I also have a VP shunt in my head because I have hydrocephalus. Hydrocephalus is water on the brain.
Right. So, wow, you went through a lot. God bless. I'm excited that you're here. Like, this is an amazing story that you can tell, and I'm glad that you're able to tell this story. You know, tell this story and tell what happened to you.
Absolutely.
So after the 8 weeks, I know your family was worried about you. I know things were going on, and like you said, you were the breadwinner in your family, and you were taking care of your family. Like, what did that look like for you? Because I know you had a very long recovery, and you look amazing. You look great. You know, I saw you. What I want to say, I saw you maybe last year or the year before that. Time is flying.
Time's flying. I don't know.
No, but you look great, and you were, smiling in your you just look happy, and I could say that for myself up close and personal, seeing you, and you don't look like what you've been through, but you do look like I can see like you're different, you're moving different, you're smiling, you're more informative, and I seen that, you started informing people about strokes and letting them know what was going on and letting them know that they wasn't alone. And I remember at one time I seen that you were doing a giveaway, the care packages to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was amazing as well, that you can do that as well. But what did your, if you don't mind me asking, what did family life look like at that point? Because I know your girls are your everything to you.
Family life, that's the worst thing. I don't know. Have you been married and went through a divorce?
Yes.
So imagine having brain injury on top of that. So the worst way that you could think about a divorce, imagine having a brain issue and trying to figure out what's left and right and going through a divorce at the same time, trying to figure out your life all over again. And the person that has your children is fighting with you or is upset with you because you're not the same person that you was before. That's a very difficult time. So
Right.
my daughters, they had to grow up in that. And that's the one major regret I have, that my daughters had to live through something that terrible as that. Hey, Jamal, what's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing? Sorry.
Hey, Jamal. It's okay. But continue what you were saying.
So yeah, but I had to learn how to be a father all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very strange thing because I had my daughters when I was, I guess, able, before they became teenagers, before they started dating, before, puberty kicked in. And I had to learn how to be a father to them while they was transitioning to women. And that was a very difficult thing. At first, I was trying to be their best friend, and I realized it wasn't working. I just needed to be present. And that helped. Like my youngest daughter plays tennis or played tennis. And I couldn't run up and down. I couldn't play tennis with because I was very athletic. I played basketball, track, and all that stuff. I couldn't do that anymore. And the only thing I could do was actually show up and pick up her tennis balls after she served. That was the best I could do because I couldn't do anything else. And that made us closer. That was our bond.
Okay.
I don't know if she appreciates it or not, but that was the best I could do. And I felt like I was there for her.
I'm pretty sure she appreciates it. I mean, a father is very important in a child's life. So, kudos to you getting through that and also being, still raising your children. Tanya, you wanted to ask Greg a question?
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't find my mic. Thank you. I want to thank you for sharing your journey.
No problem.
It is a blessing to hear the blessing of your life. I want to know, who were you before your stroke?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
That's a great question. I was a liar. I wasn't true to myself. And now I can't say can't, but I don't like wasting people's time. I know how precious time is.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do something with you, business-wise, relationship-wise, anything, I'm going to tell you straight up front where I stand. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, cool. But I'm not going to be playing around with you. I don't have time for that because at the end of the day, and I don't know if any of you on this panel has been on your deathbed before or near-death situations, but when you get to that point in time, nothing else matters.
Okay.
So why do you want to waste time and waste other people's time with bull crap? Or I don't know if I can cuss on this, but
you can.
That's bullshit. You want to be 100 with people. So I am be 100. If you don't like me, I'm cool with that. I don't have any hard feelings towards it. Like I said earlier, when I thought I was going to die, I didn't have animosity. I didn't have jealousy. I didn't have anger. I was arguing with my ex-wife right before my stroke. That time, I didn't care about that argument anymore. It was trivial. Wow. So I'm saying to myself, if I'm going to die, I don't think this way. Why am I going to live my life this way? So before that, I was fake. I'm not saying I'm 100% now, but I'm much more than what I was before.
Thank you. I appreciate that greatly.
Yeah.
Well
I
said.
appreciate that too. Like, because it takes a real person to admit what they were before. And
Yep.
no, I've never been on my deathbed. And it's just like you're saying that why waste time? It's important because we don't have time to waste. We're getting older and time is getting shorter.
Right.
And I do appreciate that. I'm sorry, Tanya, you was gonna say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say the other day I watched one of my favorite movies, and it's Overboard with
Goldie Hawn?
With Goldie Hawn and her real life
Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell. Thank you. And there's a part in that movie when she comes back to the boat and she says to the butler, he says to her that she had an opportunity that most people don't have. She had the opportunity to see into two ways of life. She was very, very rich, and she was very, very, very not rich. And she now is in a position where she has to decide who she will be. I'm paraphrasing, but the essence of what he said to her was that. And that's how I felt when you said that who you were before versus who you are now.
Right.
It is a life-changing experience where you almost lost your life. And at the same time, everyone doesn't have to come to that epiphany. Like,
right.
I thank God that God spoken to you. Mm-hmm. Because clearly you didn't come to that on your own. God had to, through his Holy Spirit, speak into you that, first of all, that you were that close to death. I don't know that you could, like, how do we come up with we're in a life or death situation? Like, we're close to death. Just awesome. You should tell your story like all over the world. It is an awesome story.
It is.
Thank you.
It was. That's what I hear so far. That sounds like an incredible story. I'm sure you've been through a lot too. I mean, which is a lot of both men. You know what I'm saying? Like, as Black men, we go through a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Right. As a Black man, because a couple of weeks ago, Greg, we had a show about Black men and mental health. And I know mentally, and I'm not going to speak for you. You speak for yourself. I'm sorry. This is about you, not me.
It's okay. It's okay.
And I'm just saying mentally, like, was your mind all over the place? Even though you said you had, clarification and peace and you didn't want to waste any more time, but getting yourself back on your feet and being able to provide for your daughters again, what was that like? Like the physical therapy, you said you had to learn how to talk again, walk again. What was that like? Like, what was the challenge, your greatest challenge that you faced with that?
The greatest challenge was telling myself that I'm still a man, that I'm still adequate. That's the hardest thing to deal with. I was at the age 25, 26, I was making over $100,000 a year, every year, consistent, until I had my stroke. And then when the stroke happened, and even to this day, I make a quarter of that. And now I'm much more happier. I have vertigo and I'm 6'3", 250 pounds. People look at me and I'm like, man, you're a big guy, you're a strong guy. Even when women want to date me, like, oh, I would love to date a guy like you. And then they see my deficits and like, whoa, there's something wrong with you. So getting over that hump of saying that, yes, I'm still a man, I'm still strong enough, I'm still able enough, even though my body doesn't really reflect what I look like, I'm still a man. And learning how to do that was the hardest part. The physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, that was easy. Because like I said, I was an athlete, so I know how to fight through things. Physically, right. That's not a problem. But mentally, spiritually, understanding who I was, who I am, that was the hardest part.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. So now you're going to you're going through your divorce, and like you said, you was arguing prior disagreements and stuff, and you said that, which I commend you. A lot of men don't say that. Basically, you guys just grew apart. You weren't a match for each other. So I appreciate that maturity in that level of conversation. So now you got the girls. You're getting yourself on your feet and stuff like that. And how was it? Because your oldest daughter. How old is your oldest daughter?
21.
21, and you went through the prom and stuff like that with her, correct?
Yeah. That was the whole deal, and that's what I worked for. That's why you saw me doing all the things I did. I wanted to make sure that my daughters have an example of a man that no matter what circumstances that he is faced with, he's able to rise up and stand to the occasion. So I can't see my daughters dating a guy and they say, "Oh, I can't do this. Life sucks. I can't do this." I'm like, "Oh, my dad had a stroke and he helped out all these people all over the world."
That part. Right,
So,
exactly.
So that's, that was my motivation. So yes, I did take both of my daughters. I have two daughters. They're a year apart. At the time, they was living in Atlanta and I was living in New York. And I made sure I bought their prom dresses, bought their prom tickets. I got a car and I chauffeured them, got some roses and everything. And I just took them there to the prom. I came down from New York and drove them there. I got one of them a Tesla and the other one a Jaguar. I just saved my money from my disability checks, and that was my goal, to make sure my daughters have everything, because those are my babies.
All right.
And then graduation came around, high school graduation, and it was at Atlanta Speedway, and that's bleachers. I can't walk up and down bleachers, because I have vertigo and balance issues.
Right.
I skipped the whole graduation because I wanted to let them know that their dad is here.
Right. That's important. So tell me a little bit about what you did for your organization. Well, not your organization, but how you started with the gift baskets, and tell us a little bit about that. Like,
So
how did you come up with that?
Taika, you've been watching me for quite a long time, because I've known you for quite a long time, and I've been doing a lot of different things. I have multiple podcasts that I used to do. I just do one now. It's called Death Taught Us How to Live. I talk to different stroke survivor people had near-death situations, and my motto is, stop complaining, live your life.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you can't walk, you can't talk, there's something that you got that you could give back to other people. Like right now,
Right.
speaking to you guys, as you guys say, it motivates you. I'm like, this is my story. This, I'm
Right.
not motivate people. This is just, I'm giving back. So I'm not complaining, sitting here. I'm like, oh man, I can't do this. Man, I can't feel the left side of my hand. Okay, I got other things to do. I got other people to inspire so they could be great as well. Because that's what we all here for. Try to make this world a better place after we leave it.
Correct.
So I do that. I used to do what's called a caregiver basket giveaway, and I started that off in COVID. And I was like, all these caregivers, they're stuck with these stroke survivors inside of a house. And I don't know if you know any caregivers for elderly people with dementia, whatever.
Right.
It's a very tedious thing. And we as the stroke survivors are very hard on our caregivers because they are around us 24/7. So they get the blunt of it. So I used to take out of my own money and also donations from other people to get little care baskets, some spa treatments that they could have at home during the pandemic. And I was doing that for 5 years. And I stopped it. And the only reason why I stopped, because I left the country. And now I live in Panama. And I just can't do this United States anymore. So it'll be a very expensive gift basket if I was going to mail it. So that's why I stopped doing that. I'm also involved with a couple of organizations.
Okay.
Organizations I'm in contact with. One is called TAF. That's called the Aneurysm and AVM Foundation. They're based out of California. They're just support groups and advocacy for people that have aneurysm and AVMs. I'm also connected with this one in Long Island called the Paige Keeley Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Paige Keeley was a 6-year-old that had the same thing that I had. She went to school one day, went to the nurse's office, and then it ruptured and she died. So her mother made up this foundation to make awareness of this, to make people understand it. And I'm also connected with, an advocate with an organization out of London, or it's the UK, I'm sure it's London. It's called the Same You Organization. And that is, you ever heard of Emilia Clarke? Is that any of y'all watch the Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
So the dragon lady, the girl with the blonde hair.
Yeah.
In the first season, she had 2 strokes, 2 aneurysms. That's why you didn't see her too much in it. And she made up an organization called the Same You Organization, and I'm a advocate for that.
Wow.
So yeah, that's what I do.
That's good. Well, when does your podcast come on? When do you do your podcast? What day?
My podcast, right now we're on a hiatus right now because I don't know how you guys do it, but I can't do it every week. For like 6 years, I just do it every week. It's daunting, so I do seasons. I started off in May. That's end of Stroke Awareness Month, and I ended off in October. That's AVM Awareness Month. So I do seasons, and not right now. I'm just on break, and I won't start back up until May. But I do usually do it Thursday at 8 p.m.
Okay, so we'll be on the lookout for that. And then your name of your show was called
Death Taught Us How to Live.
Death Taught Us How to Live. Okay, I got to make sure, and I'm gonna put that in the comments. I appreciate that.
No problem.
So when you get into the podcast? That's okay.
I didn't hear you.
So what made you get into the podcast? What inspired you to start it?
My voice. I know I have a great voice.
Nice.
People like hearing my voice. People like hearing my voice, and I have talent. And it got me out of my woe is me and complaining about I'm not a man. And I know that I had this voice, I had this talent, God-given talent. I didn't make it up. It just was given to me. I made a lot of money through my voice. So why not give it back to people that really need it? So that's what made it.
I respect that.
I love it. So you said I got my voice.
You silly, sis. You silly.
Okay. All right, Barry White, I hear you.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Right. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad. I really appreciate you telling us, because it's very important for us to go to our doctor's appointments and make sure that we're okay, and if we have MRIs or CTs that we need to get done, and just to keep ourselves healthy. How did you change your diet once everything happened?
That was the next question.
Yes and no, because because bear with me. Like we was talking about earlier, there's 2 different types of stroke. So my stroke wasn't because I had a blood clot or clogged arteries. Mine was a thing that I was conceived with. I had a very rare condition. Only 1% of the population has it. And this is what happened to me. So I'm on that same path that you're talking about with the ischemic stroke. I'm on the hemorrhagic side. But I suffer from diabetes. I also have high cholesterol in the United States. And this is the weirdest thing. And I don't really mean to try to bash anything, but I've been
say it. We all about speaking your truth here.
Okay. Well,
God knows we speak our truth, right, Jamal?
Yeah. Now you listen, go. Hey, trust me, it's fine.
Okay. So I moved to Panama in August. And I took my first blood test out here, and my cholesterol's down 60 points. My doctor looking at me like, what did you do? I'm like, I walk out here. It's a very walkable city. It's like you see my shirt right now. This is my sweater. This is my jacket right here. That's how hot it is each and every day. This is what I do
right now.
Yes, right. He's in here.
Nice.
Panama City, Panama.
Oh shoot. Okay. A lot of Africans over there. A lot of black people.
or in a place called Colón. Colón. That's the Caribbean side. There's a lot of Caribbean people over there.
What'd you say? Wait, hold on. What'd you say your address was again? Hold on. Let me read this.
You silly. But it's beautiful out here because the food is different. You know, it's pure food. Like I'm tasting food and it's not chemical induced.
Right.
It's natural stuff. I could go to the store right now and get a papaya for $1.50.
Wow.
You know, it's like it's amazing.
No, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
This is what we talk about, Taika. You see, he lives in Panama, right?
Right.
And every time I have these arguments with these silly MAGA people, they want to say America's the best and whatnot. I get it. Listen, America has its faults and America has its riches. But listen, where he's at right now, fresh food. I'm sure there's other perks where you're at now, and I'm sure you're less stressed.
Absolutely.
You see how big his eyes got, right?
But this is what I'm. But that's what this is what I'm talking about. Right. It's the perks that will make you. You know what I'm saying? You make you glow different and react different. But that's what I keep telling. Like I said before, in America, we are stressed the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you do. If you sit up here saying, "Well, I'm not stressed," that's a lie. Because most of us work 2 or 3 jobs. And I'm talking about the average person. I'm not talking about the celebrity. The celebrity has its own issues. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just think with the average person, I think with us, I truly think that, you know, we're being squeezed. But continue, Greg. You know, I just want to hear more about how you live out there and things like that.
No, that's cool. That's cool, Jamal. Like I look at it really differently because I'm glad you brought up the manga thing and everybody they have their opinion of what, you know, Latin countries are, or Latinos are. And I'm out here, I don't get that same vibe that the news try to portray. It's very beautiful. And they don't have racism out here. They have classism.
Okay.
So they don't, as long as you keeping your head clean or your nose clean and you're doing whatever you have to do to help that country to thrive, they love you. So like you said, there's no stress. I could get up 6 o'clock in the morning and I could walk through the hood and there's no problem.
Wow. So what do you do any work out there? You know, like minimal work, or what's the work-life balance out there? How does that work out there?
Just before you answer that, not to interrupt you, Greg, I just want you to know Jamal has already moved out there just now. When you said that, Jamal is gone. Jamal, come back. We need you.
Jamal's here, huh?
Jamal,
let's get the door right now, Jamal.
Yo.
All right. I don't work. I'm permanently disabled.
That's okay. That's fine.
The thing out, and I did the research on it. There is like 2 countries that have very great retirement plans.
Okay.
And Panama and Thailand are the 2 countries.
Yes, I heard Thailand. Yep.
So I chose Panama because I get all these discounts with their pensionado visa. That's the retirement. Pensionado is the retirement word, or pension. So if you're making $1,000 a month in a lifetime pension, you automatically qualify.
Wow.
And what you qualify for is discounts on your doctors. I get 25% off when I go to the doctors, hospitals, 25% on airfare, 50% off on hotel stays, different things of that nature. So they really make it easy for you to come there and use your pension.
Gotcha.
But if you, as a person, because I don't think you're at your retirement age yet, as I'm looking at you, unless you have a pension from the military or if you was a correctional officer, if you are a digital nomad making over $36,000 a year, you qualify to get your temporary residency in Panama.
Wow. Interesting.
Well, Greg, you're talking more than this stroke here. Well, hold on.
You guys asked the question.
I'm going to get my suitcase right now.
So what about how's the rent and housing out there? How does that work? Like, what do they, do they have, like not like Section 8, but, affordable housing and things like that, for the people? How does it work out?
Do they need affordable housing?
Or do they need affordable housing?
So like I was saying before, it's classism.
Excuse me,
You have money,
that is
or
the
you don't.
question, Taika. Because America is designed for the haves and the have-nots. Every nation is not established that way. I'm sorry, Greg. Go ahead.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's not like that mindset, like you was talking about, Jamal, like it's very stressful in the United States. That mindset is not here. So the way you're thinking about, is there affordable housing? Yeah, and no, it depends what you want.
Correct. Right. Okay.
You could live in the jungle if you want to, and you could pay $300 a month, for rent. Or you could live in a major city and pay $1,000 a month, fully furnished. It all depends what you're looking for. Like I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I don't pay over $1,000 furnished. I get internet and cell phone for about $50 a month. So life is different.
Right.
Like, and Taika could attest to this because she's been watching me and following me for a long time. I lived in the United States. I lived in Jamaica. I lived here. I'm not tethered to the United States anymore.
Correct.
And I think that's the problem for a lot of people. They say that this is the best country, and then okay, I could go with that, but I'm good.
Right.
You don't look stressed. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
That's why.
I've known you for a very long time, and you look like you on vacation every day. Every day.
Every day. Every day.
Dang, like now, like it just. Why are we wasting time? Like, why are we wasting time? Jamal, you got the reason.
That brings it back to my stroke. After this happened, I was like, why am I wasting time? I want to live. And however I'm going to do that, however that's going to look, I don't want to beg God again to say, can I get another 5 years? Can I get another 5 years? I'm going to do it right now. I don't care how much money I have. I haven't worked in 8 years. And I lived in Jamaica. I lived in Panama. I lived in New York. I lived in Atlanta. Money's your excuse. You don't need that much money. You just have to adjust your lifestyle. And I have adjusted.
I agree.
Money is your excuse. I will take that away. Money is your excuse.
You're teaching us. I'm learning. Go ahead, Sensei. Oh. So wow. Go ahead, Jamal. Take it away. I'm in awe right now because it's just like I appreciate you telling us, about the stroke and what the struggles were. And now it's not struggles. You're living someplace where if you had been in America and you're still in America, do you think you would still be just as relaxed? No, you wouldn't. Because you think you would be just as relaxed?
I think so. Because it's not about where you are, it's about your mind state. And you have to make that shift. I think if I didn't have my stroke, I wouldn't have this shift in how I think of things and how I perceive people. And see, now you got me going on a different thing, and I'm going to speak my truth.
Speak your truth.
Before, I used to look at women like, I could dick her down. I could dick her down. I could dick her down. Instead of looking at them as like a person. Now look at women.
Wait, are you saying I could date her now, or I could dick
her down?
You know I can cuss on here, so I'll cuss.
I just wasn't sure that's what you were saying. Okay,
that's what he was saying. Yes, that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
So, but now I don't do that. I still find women attractive, but I don't have that mindset of like, first thing I want to do is look at her ass, look at her breasts, look at her hips, and look, can I get that? I'm like, you're in my life for a reason. I'm in your life for a reason. How can we actually affect each other to be better in life? And I didn't think like that before. Like I was saying, I was fake. I used to lie. I used to do things that was not considered to be a man type of thing, or I guess society thought it was manly, but now I think it's just childish, and I don't do those things anymore.
Got you. I dig it. I get it. I totally understand.
Yeah.
So after a while, as you get older, you start to like rethink and reclassify. You're not married or anything, are you? Are you?
I got divorced.
Okay, gotcha.
When I
Okay,
had my AVM ruptured, I got divorced.
gotcha.
I went through
Yeah,
that,
and
divorce
the
and COVID
beginning.
all at the same time.
Well, gotcha. Yeah. But I get it. After you get older, you gotta really want to, try to find somebody, no, not personal, but do you date? Like you go out on dates and things like that? Or,
Date? Heck yeah, date. I'm a man, bro. I gotta go date.
yeah,
But
I hear.
no, but the question I think you're asking me, like, do I want to have a life partner? Do I want to get married
Yes.
again?
Yeah.
I just look at a lot of things differently, and
Okay.
I don't want people to get jaded by what I'm saying, but
Mhm.
it's the truth, and I went through it. You know, I want a life partner, but I don't want to get married again.
Gotcha.
When I went through my divorce, the mediator told me, he said, "Hey, I know you're disabled. I know you don't have any money, but most likely everything's gonna be favored for your ex-wife. You got to give her the house, even though you
Gotcha.
paid for it, and you're the one that worked for it. You have to give her the house. You have to pay the most in child support." I'm like, I'm on disability. How can I pay the most in child support? All of that. So I'm like, why do I want to get married again and put myself in that same type of situation? As a disabled person, I couldn't even do anything. I couldn't work. I couldn't walk at a certain time, and there was no favor for me. So why would I?
Right.
Can I answer that for you?
Please.
Because the person that you will marry is not the person you were married to. The person that you will marry, if you ever get there, is someone who's going to love Greg for Greg. She's not looking for a divorce. She's not looking for what you can give her. She wants who you are.
No, I get that, but I guess from a man's point of view, when you have something and you know if you actually go into that commitment of that lock, that there is a likelihood, there's a chance that you're gonna be taken advantage of. So why would I put myself in that position again?
Uh, mhm.
No, I get it, because you're a woman and you're thinking of what it is for you as in love. I'm not, I don't want to get married for love. I don't care about love. I care about what we're going to do for each other to make ourselves better in life. If we can't do that, if we have to get married to do that, that's not for me.
So it brings me back to during this time.
Mhm.
What did you still were a lot of friends? Did they leave? Did you have a lot of support, or you found that people fell off the map because you had a stroke? What was your experience with that? What did they like? Because I know you talked about being married and stuff like that, and I'm hearing what you're saying, and I feel like when you get married to somebody, this is just me personally.
Mhm.
It's through thick and thin. Death
Mhm.
do us part. And even though I know a stroke is a very difficult thing, but as a woman, I can't speak for your situation, but just sticking by you. And if I felt like we grew apart, I still be there with you because that's a catastrophic thing to go through or devastating thing to go through and having to learn to walk again and being on your own and end up having going through a divorce. Like that's a lot. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from at this current moment,
Mhm.
even though I believe in other things, but I do understand where you're coming from. I really do, because I don't know if she left you during your stroke or after your stroke. That would make me change my view as well.
She
But
never
the
left
one
me.
part
I
I
left her.
don't. Oh, okay. All right.
Like I said, stop wasting people's time. Like I'm very different now. And
Mhm.
I knew what type of relationship we had. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, we're not in love anymore. And why do I want to put this burden on someone that doesn't really want to be with me? Let her go and live her life and be happy. And if we get back together, we get back together. But that's not the plan. I just want her to be who she needs to be, her to grow, her to have this growth. and we talk now, and
That's good.
I'm happy for it. I'm happy for her. With this, the talk about the marriage stuff, I just look at things very differently now, and it's hard to explain to someone that hasn't been through that. And I'm not going tit for tat and saying that we should do it or should not. I'm not trying to convince anybody for that. I'm just saying, for me personally, it's very difficult to be with someone that doesn't understand what I've been through, and I can't explain it. I don't know how to, because I don't really know how to explain it myself. But when I talk with other stroke survivors, they understand it.
Wow.
And I don't want to marry somebody just because we had a stroke. That don't make any sense either.
Right. No, I'm saying, okay, so if you're married, I get what you're saying. Like, only like-minded people can understand what you did. So whether it's, the group that you speak to and they have stroke, you said they understand, they get it. You understand? And I don't know, I don't get it because that didn't happen to me, but I do get where you're coming from, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The part that I don't understand, and I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, is that during this time when you're going through a stroke, that this person gets everything, and you say you're on disability, and I don't understand how that happened, but I guess it is what it is at this point.
Well, like, I think we discussed this a little bit earlier in the United States. If you have money, you have a different situation. I'm disabled, so I can't afford a lawyer. Now I have to defend myself, and hopefully, if I could, and I was fortunate that someone gave me some money to get a lawyer, just to make sure that I was properly represented. Because at first I was not represented; I was representing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to find, people that would do some pro bono work, and everybody was giving me the runaround. But like I was saying, Taika, before, going through a divorce with a stroke brain, it's very difficult because you have to be an advocate for yourself. That person that was your best friend for the last 20 years, she's fighting against you now. So who do you talk to?
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. That's a tough one. And I think it's almost like a double-edged sword. You understand what I'm saying? But that's why I said, even out of the States, I felt like I don't know the laws in Panama. I ain't even gonna sit up here and act like I do. But in the United States, it just seems like that part is against the guy, especially with your situation. That's a unique situation. Like, that's not fair. You know what I mean? You're
Right.
disabled, and it's just like, it's not a fair fight. Like, what can he, if the man can't work and he can't do this, like, you're really, technically you're trying to kill him. And in retrospect, and that's how I then listening to your situation.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. You're trying to kill him.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's right, and that's a problem. And this is what I did. That's why I said. And now I'm starting to really think. I'm just like, yo, I can see why he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Because look like, you know what I mean? It damn near cost him his life. And and again,
It
people
pretty much did.
right. That's what I'm saying. And people on the panel, men or women should see this. And again, this is not attacking women or attacking men. You know what I mean? But I'm just showing you the laws. That's what I'm looking at, the fucking laws. Like,
Right.
there should have been a law in there for you, for the man, especially if you're disabled, to be like, all right, well, we can't do this. Like, listen, look what he's going through. Here's what we can do. We need to work this out a little bit differently. But to do this and to do, on top of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit I'm that scares me. It's just like, yo, that's not right. But it's just like there was no empathy there for you.
Who's our state senator? Who was the state senator or representative of Rockland County in Rockland County? Does anybody know the name of it?
State senator?
State?
Now?
No. Well, you would.
Yeah, no.
Our state senator is Chuck Schumer or Gillibrand.
Chuck Schumer. Is it Schumer? Okay, it's not the state senator. I'm talking about the congressman that's from Rockland County. Who's the congressman?
Mike Lawler?
Yeah, Mike Lawler, yeah.
So I had a proclamation from Ed Day, a county commissioner of Rockland County, and I went to Loyola about that particular situation. I'm like, we need to make a change, and two things that we need to change in the United States government. One is when a person has a stroke, they shouldn't be liable to make any decisions and sign any paper or documents.
Yes.
And the second thing is we need representation if something like a divorce comes about. There needs to be something for people that have brain injuries so they can be taken care of. And that just been left on the floor. And nothing happened from that.
Can I ask who initiated the divorce?
My ex-wife.
Okay, she did. Because there are laws in place, and I'm a lawyer by trade. There are laws in place that say that if you're not competent or intellectually prepared or able to execute a divorce, then she can't get a divorce. So I'm not sure how that happened. I'm not sure how they went from implementation to completion with you having a brain injury. I'm
So
not sure how that happened.
the question I will have for you after that is, do you think I'm capable to actually making decisions?
Absolutely.
And, right. So what tests do you actually have to say that I'm not or I am?
No. I was talking about 8 years ago or however
No,
many years ago, not now.
No, I hear what you're
I'm saying
saying.
in order to protect you as a
No,
lawyer, I would say he's not competent.
I'm hearing that, but what litmus test would you have or the state has to actually indicate that person is competent or not?
I would get your doctor to say whether you're competent or not. I wouldn't make the determination. Your doctor would.
See, and that's the other problem that I brought to him as well. A national medical record system. And what I mean by that, I had my stroke in Kentucky and I lived in Atlanta. Then I moved to New York. My records didn't follow me. Like how you have your credit score, it follows you all over the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen with your medical records. So I have to find a way to get my doctor in Kentucky to talk to my doctors in New York. Who's going to do that? Who's going to advocate for me?
You're a lawyer.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? So there's a lot of things that's not in place for people like us. And I hear you exactly what you're saying to me, but we're talking about a person that is not on my level of competency. We have a lot of people that have a stroke and the next day they're kicked out on the curb, right, and nobody takes care of it. So what do we do with these people? So that's what I was trying to fight for. And at the time when I had my divorce, like 5 years ago, I knew I wasn't right, but I couldn't prove it. And her lawyer's looking at me like, and I'm explaining, I'm like, oh, this happened, that happened. It's like, I'm against you, Gregory. You shouldn't be telling me this. I'm like, who do I tell? So that was the problem that was happening. You know, everybody was fighting against me and I couldn't fight for myself. So what do I do then? What do stroke survivors do?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had it mute for a second. I was trying to, because I'm just very intrigued and very interested in what you're saying. And I'm sorry that you had to really go through that, because I don't think that was fair.
Yeah. Because
you're trying to recover and get your life back while fighting for divorce and fighting for your life. You know, I'm just grateful that you're here today, you know,
right, definitely.
And you're able to share your story for people that can listen and understand. Like, it's not easy. It was a difficult road, but you look amazing. You look amazing. And, you know, and you're free. From what I'm looking at, you're free because you live in some place where the food is real. Your sweater looks great.
Well, I think the universe, you know, I think that in favor. that's how I look at it. I felt like the universe, looked out for you. I truly believe it. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? Your girls still have you, your daughters still have you. You're still alive, and feel like you're in a better. It looks like you're in a better place now. And I don't feel like that was the universe working in your favor. It's got to be. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't hear a lot. I don't hear a lot of stories like that. When I hear stories like that, I'd be like, you know what? The higher power was looking out for him. Had to be. Whatever you believe in.
No. I'm with you. Have you ever heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza?
No.
I heard of him. I really haven't really, I've heard of the name, but I just really, delve into him.
So have you ever dealt with what is it? Quantum science or quantum theories and things of that nature?
So I'm reading the book, The Holy Odu. It's African spirituality. It kind of delves into that. I don't know if you ever read that book.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so it talks about that, but it's different. It's an African like their lingo and how it goes with the quantum realm. And yeah, so I get where you're going. I get what you're saying, but delve into more because I want to hear that side.
Enlighten me because I'm confused. I mean, Greg, do you have enough? I mean, well, we normally end this podcast at 9:00.
I'm retired. I don't have to go to work anymore.
Right.
I'm good.
Thank you for rubbing it in our American American faces.
I don't got snow.
You got no.
You know what, Greg?
No snow.
All right. So this has been the LHK conversation.
You don't have to be hateful, Greg. You don't have to be hateful. It's very cold here.
I can imagine.
We got.
I'm wearing my sweater right now. This is my hoodie.
That's so mean.
Man. What's the degrees out there? 80 degrees?
Yeah, about right now. Like after I get off the phone, I'm gonna go down to my pool and hang out at the pool. I'm dead serious.
Greg, we're gonna ask you on this show not to be too happy. Thank you.
Okay. So you was asking about Dr. Joe Dispenza. He has a book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Okay.
And within that book, it gives a lot of meditations and things like that. And most of it is about how your body or nervous system reacts to certain situations. And it keeps on repeating itself because you let that part of your body dictate what you're going to do. So instead of going through with your nervous system and reacting to certain situations, like some people say, oh, that person triggers me or that person is toxic. That person is not toxic. It's something that they're doing that's triggering something within your past that's bringing up something very negative to you and you don't know how to deal with it.
Gotcha. Yes.
It teaches you how to retrain your mind, your body to be different. Like Taiki was saying, I'm not bashing my ex-wife. Well, you could have caught me 5 years ago. I would definitely been bashing because I wasn't ready. But I just realized like she doesn't know. She doesn't understand what I've been through. I don't know what she's been through. Her life has been so different than mine. And I can't blame her because I said I do. And I didn't do my due diligence to find out if she was the right person for me or not. So I can't really. And she also helped me bring 2 beautiful daughters in this world. So, and I love the heck out of them. So I can't really hate her. So I had to learn that instead of being traumatized by my past, my young childhood, to make decisions for my 48-year-old self, 49-year-old self, I had to learn that those things that's not dictating my future. So reading that book, doing his meditations has got me to where I am today.
What's the title of the book?
Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And he also has another book. He has plenty of books. Another one's called You Are the Placebo Effect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
What would you tell the people today about stroke, about life? What would you say today to encourage and help people get over any just not even just stroke, because you've given us a plethora of knowledge tonight, not just about stroke. You gave us stroke information about you having a stroke, but you also gave us life experience and how you change your mind, you change your life in the middle of you having a stroke.
Right.
Well, go ahead, Jamal. You want to say something?
Oh, no. Yo. Yeah, I was piggyback off Taika.
So there's a couple of things I want to make sure that people get from this interview from me. One is the acronym Be Fast. Make sure that you really understand that, because I didn't understand what a stroke was. A lot of people in our community don't know what a stroke is, don't know how it affects the body, what it's actually doing. I didn't know what it was until it actually happened to me. And remember, I said be fast. B is for balance. E is your eyes drooping. F is your face is drooping. A is your arm is weak. S is your speech is slurred. And then the T is time for call 911. And the other thing that I would say to you is that
Can you say that again?
be fast, balance, eye, face drooping, arm weakness, speech slurred, T time call 911.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
And with that, that's a play on words. When it says be fast, it is very vital. When you are, or someone you know is having a stroke, time is of the essence. Because I don't know if people got this from this interview or not, but a stroke is depriving some part of your brain oxygen, and that part of the brain is dying and it's never coming back.
Correct.
It's never coming back. So the longer you take, you say you're a guy like, oh, I can handle this. It's not that bad. That's the complete wrong answer. Go get yourself checked out.
Right.
Because it could be the difference of looking like me, or on the other side of the spectrum, death.
Correct.
Simple as that. And I don't want, this is, you could talk to any stroke survivor. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
No.
This is terrible. This is the worst thing. And the only way I could describe it is, it's like my body, because I still have deficits inside of me right now. It's like my body is in jail and I don't know how to get out.
Right.
That's the best way I could describe it.
Everything it's heavy. Everything that's heavy, because and for people who are listening, stroke can happen to anybody at any age.
Absolutely. That too.
At any age.
That too.
And
it's not an elderly disease. It's not an elderly disease.
No, it's not. Any age, any person. And then strokes are the fifth, the fifth leading cause of death in the United States.
Absolutely.
What causes it? Sorry to cut you off. They didn't say what causes it, what causes it, or has anybody that extensive research? Not on it, but I'm just saying, has that research been put out, like what causes strokes and things like that?
Well, Greg has something. Greg, you said you have something that only 1% of the population has.
Yeah, I was conceived with mine.
Right.
So I could explain it to you a little bit further, because I know I didn't explain it. I have what's called like AVM, arteriovenous malformation.
Okay.
Go back to your biology class and remember there's veins and there's arteries, and in between there's capillaries. The capillaries are straight line. My capillaries are knotted up.
Got you.
So eventually it was going to rupture.
Got you.
Rupture, you could die, or things could happen. Then that's the stroke that happens. So the question you asked here, Jamal, it's very difficult to answer.
Okay. Right.
Because this is so, I've interviewed over 300 people and nobody had the same type of stroke.
Wow.
You heard, commercials saying taking birth control pills, it could end up stroke. They always say stroke in it. I know people that took birth control pills and had a stroke. I know people that had babies and right after they had a baby, had a stroke. So there's so many different avenues. I know people that took out workout supplements, had a stroke.
Right.
So
it's no one component that can lead to stroke, especially the kind that you had,
Right.
I know from what I've been researching, the ischemic stroke, it's high blood pressure, diabetes, you have heart disease, smoking, things in that particular field can lead to stress. And stress is the number one killer. So, and I mean, with the Black community, I think, like Greg said, it's important to get your body checked out. Sometimes we don't want to go to the doctor, but especially, men, they don't like to go to the doctor either. But you got to go.
And that's why I want to also say about, especially us Black men, it's not considered to be weak to get mentally checked, to see a therapist, a psychiatrist. It's weak to actually hold that all in. Because I don't know if you realize that or not, but and I'm sorry, would you guys like to do an exercise with me?
Sure.
This is a stress exercise, actually.
Sure, we can. Listen, Greg, we are here listening because
all right.
You got me tuned in.
Close your eyes.
You got us tuned into the.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and relax your shoulders. Now, open your eyes. Have any of you realized how much tension you had in your shoulders when you relaxed them?
I did.
Yes.
You're not supposed to be that way.
Damn.
That is actually doing something to your body. It's like, you ever see like the deer in the head in the dead? Deer have the heads in the dead. I can't even say it.
Deer in the headlights.
Deer in the headlights, right? They just freeze.
Yes.
Your body's not made. That's a reaction. But a lot of us live our whole entire life that way, just at that tense moments. You're supposed to be relaxed. So you're wondering how you have high blood pressure, you're stressed out, because you don't know how to relax. Just relax. So whenever you feel like you're tensed up, just take a couple of moments each and every morning before you go to bed. Don't go and have a drink. Don't go have a cigarette. Just relax.
How?
Take a deep breath.
Do the exercise that you just said. When you said let down your shoulders, I realized my shoulders was like this.
Yeah, you're tensed up. Just let it go.
And when you said relax your shoulders, let your shoulders, I was like, and it dropped so much.
So you're like, wow, I didn't realize that I'm doing that. Like you're in a constant flux. And Tanya, you asked me a question, how? You ever heard of the saying, you got to fake it until you make it?
Absolutely.
You got to keep on consciously saying to yourself, I need to relax. There's nothing wrong with you taking 8 minutes out of your morning, 8 minutes before you go to sleep, to relax, to unwind, to not pick up your phone, not to answer emails or watch TV right before you go to sleep or when you wake up. Just take the time for yourself and then start your day.
Right.
100%. Very good knowledge.
No, I'm saying.
Sounds like we need to do that because my shoulders is like, when you said it.
Yeah, my shoulders are still mad.
Right.
Yeah.
You said close the eyes, let your shoulder breathe and let your shoulders up. I'm telling you, my shoulders I felt like my shoulders like that. When you said it, I was like.
Yeah, definitely. I was taking that all
I didn't feel like my shoulders moved. I was like, I hope they
mine did. I felt mine move. I'm like, have my shoulders been up like this all day? I'm walking around like a linebacker. Greg, we really appreciate you coming on tonight. And it's the part of the show where Jamal, would you go ahead,
close it out.
This is Jamal's segment. Jamal normally has before we go.
To close it out.
But before you go, Jamal.
Go. Do you
I don't mean to interrupt you. Greg, would you like to have any last words to say? Because this was a really good interview, and
Right.
I we really appreciate you coming on. Because
Definitely.
we're packing our bags, though. I'm telling you right now.
Well, all I have to say is thank you so much, LHK, for allowing me to say my story, giving me a platform to speak. I really appreciate you three for allowing me to actually have this conversation with you guys. This means more to me than it means to you. It's really, really helpful, and I thank you guys.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you.
Bless you too.
Brother.
Do you have a book? Have you
I
ever
do.
written a book?
I have not.
Oh, you should work on that.
Shocked.
I'm not on vacation. I'm living life, sis.
Yeah.
This is not a vacation.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
life. This is
I don't
life.
want to be like,
But you're right. You're right.
me.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I should write a book.
And I just want to say one more thing. You said a while ago, make the world a better place after we leave it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would suggest we need to make the world a better place while we're in it.
Facts.
100%.
And you did say the money. What was the jam? Was the money thing? The money
Yes,
jam.
money is your excuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is your slogan from now on.
Absolutely.
So what you
Greg,
said,
that
money?
is your slogan.
You said money is your excuse. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Yeah, because Jamal,
Money is your excuse for your hustle.
Gotcha.
Jamal, I used to make. I'm telling you, every year I've made over 6 figures every year, and I used to say I want to do this, I want to do that, but I was like I didn't have enough money. And now I don't make anywhere close to that. I make. I don't want to say what I make, but I have lived in like 6 or 7 different places since my stroke,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have the money.
Right.
So what was the difference?
Favor.
Yeah, I hear you.
God's favor.
Absolutely. When you start listening, that's the other thing I've learned to listen too. Like I got out my own way, and it's amazing when you see that.
Jesus.
When you see like, should I do this or should I do that? Like do this, and then you go against that, and it's all messed up. And when you don't fight it, and it comes through, you're like, wow.
And you've really never thought about writing a book?
Inspirational speaker?
I'm sorry.
No, I do speak. I do speak.
No, I'm just saying it's very inspirational. Like
Speak and sell a book. Wow.
Yes.
I really appreciate the motivational push that you ladies are giving me. I really appreciate that. I am thinking about that. I guess it's more of I want to do it with my daughters. I want them to be ready to come on with me and make a grand thing like I'm working on now. Just because my daughter helps me out with my podcast, I want my other daughter to help me out with the book. So I'm waiting on.
Good.
That's amazing.
God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you, Greg. I'm so happy you came on. I know you said you did more. We did more for you than I don't think so. Can we call it an even draw? Can we?
Sleep at night.
Like, I mean, I appreciate. Like, follow things that you've done. And it's just amazing from where you were and where you are now. You understand? And looking at you, you look refreshed. You don't look stressed. You look good, and I appreciate that. And for me, I don't know, you've always been truthful for me. I don't know when you've been lying. But I really appreciate you coming on. Jamal, close us out. Go ahead. I'm ready.
Jamal got something going on in the background.
1 minute he's saying.
Yeah, I was talking to Gianna. I was talking to my daughter. She was she's up for the holiday. Yeah. She was at a friend's basketball game. But I'll talk to her in a minute. But I'm going to close out. So, I mean, I don't want to be negative. I'm going to try to be. I was positive last week, so I'm going to balance it out with a little bit of negative and positive here. So, right now, I think the world right now is in a little bit of a turmoil, and there's a battle between good and evil. And I think it's showing face more and more today, you know, especially us living in the States. You know, Greg, you're on vacation. You know what I'm saying? You're chilling right now. But you also, you know, you see, you know what I mean? And you've also shed some good light tonight on this panel. And, you know, I felt like we needed this. And, you know, I feel like you're a good spirit. You understand what I'm saying? We need more people like you.
Absolutely.
You know? And I truly believe that. And that's what I think, like people like you can get us ahead to get to where we have to go. You know, despite what you've been through and despite, you know, what else is going on. But, you know, living in the States, you know, we live in an evil right now, an evil regime. I'm calling it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a visitor. The evil in this country is not a visitor. It's a resident. It lives here.
Yes.
So all this crap about hiding it and not, you know, saying anything and not speaking up about it and just going on about the day, you know what I mean? Enough is enough already, you know. And I think as a people, we have to stand up and we have to do what we have to do to get us to where we have to go. As I said before, evil is not a visitor. It is a resident. A lot of people out here are suffering and dying because people at the top are selfish. And I'm going to leave it at that. People for the panel, y'all think about that. You know, we're at a fight every day. And I feel like a lot of us do the right thing. And I feel like a lot of us are spiritually in line. You know, I feel like most people are. But there are people out there that just want to see the world burn.
Right.
And with that note, everyone has a good night.
Thank you again, everybody. Thank you for coming on. The LHK podcast is out. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Greg.
Everyone.
Good night.